Good afternoon, CMS families. Thank you for joining us for today's Family Academy Lunch and Learn. Get connected with CMS. Please take a moment to sign into today's session using the bit.ly that is displayed on the screen and is added to the Q&A. Displayed is our CMS placemat that includes our district goals, mission, vision, and the 4 pillars of excellence in which we carry out our goals. Translation support is available during today's session. In the top right-hand corner, please select Captions. From there, you will select Live Captions or Show Live Captions. You see it circled there. Then select the language of your choosing from the drop-down. Again, if you are in need of translation support, it is available during today's session. In the right-hand corner, please select Captions. From there, you will select Live Captions, then select the language of your choosing from the drop-down. We are excited to engage with you today. If you have questions during today's presentation, please select the Q&A feature. Once selected, you will be able to type your question to be addressed by our wonderful presenters during the Q&A time. And we would love to hear from you throughout the presentation. Please react and engage using the React feature to share a thumbs up or a heart or a clap, just to let our presenters know that you are engaged, and they may have said something that resonated with you, but make sure you are engaging with them throughout the presentation using the reaction feature. And families, if you would like to review today's session or previous Family Academy sessions, please visit CMS Family Academy. And to explore up-to-date learning resources in a one-stop shop, we invite you to visit the CMS Family Portal. This resource is available to all families and no login is required. Today's agenda, we will cover Infinite Campus, the CMS launchpad, as well as ParentSquare. At this time, I am pleased to introduce Denise Yates, Student Information Systems Manager, and she will be covering our Infinite Campus.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you all for having me and for joining us today. I'm excited to be here on behalf of the Student Information Systems team. And today we're just going to talk about all things Infinite Campus. So if you guys could give me a thumbs up if you currently have a Parent Portal account. So if you have a Parent Portal account, and if you don't, that's okay, because today we're going to talk through, awesome, I see some thumbs. Today we're going to talk through how to go about accessing that and getting help if you need help with it. So we're going to talk through all pieces of Infinite Campus. So first off, I want to discuss with you that both parents and students have access to their portals, the Parent Portal and the Student Portal, through either the web or an application. And so what you're going to have access to once you have set up this account and logged in, you can stay on top of when assignments are due, when assignments are graded, your students' attendance, tardies, grades, schedules for the year. So the web application can do that. And then the mobile app is also available for download if you'd rather have it on your phone. I'm a parent and I access it both ways. On the application, you can use the App Store for Apple or Google Play for an Android device and also access the same information. So here's a screenshot of the menu. You're going to again see assignments, attendance, grades, and schedules of your students. So the next 2 slides are going to be really just a breakdown of the difference between when you might want to use the web-based portal versus the application on your phone or your iPad. So really the purpose of the platform is the same for both. But when you're using the application, If you are using it for the grade book attendance and attendance, you can set notifications for yourself on your phone or your iPad. And what it will do is if your student is tardy, if they're marked absent, if they have a late assignment, or if a grade is updated in the grade book, it will automatically notify you that that update has been made. You do not have access to do that on the web, obviously, on a computer. But on the computer, you can also look into more details of each of those things. So you can look at an assignment and see, what the details of it were, when it was due, and all of that information. The class schedule is going to look the same on both, as well as most information regarding students' grades as far as reports. But as I mentioned on the slide before, you can set up push notifications and customize more on the application on your phone and on an iPad or a tablet device. So getting started with Infinite Campus, I know a lot of you guys already have an account, which is amazing. But if you have friends of families who do not have an account, or maybe they have a student starting with us in CMS this year, we do have instructions linked on a resource that I'm going to share at the end of my piece of the presentation, where we have our directions to set up an account translated into our top 13 languages. And it is step by step how to set it up. And the great thing is you only have to set it up for one student in your household, and you only have to set it up one time. So it should not be cut off. Once you set it up, you're going to maintain that access through the summer. You may see last year's information until we change the school year. But as long as you remember your username and your password, you should not lose access to Infinite Campus once you have your credentials created. Back to school forms. So we started this last year, and this will be something we do again this year. Parents are asked at some point, and this is a requirement, parents will be required to complete annual back to school forms in the parent portal each year. And the reason we do that is when we have all of our student information in one place, it really helps our teachers, our administrators, and everybody best serve your students in the school building. So when I say parent forms, you could be asked to fill out a technology agreement form. Can your student use a Chromebook, or can they not? Can they be photographed, or can they not be? And so information like that also allows us to see that at the school level and ensure that your students receive, again, the services that they need. So to complete the back to school forms, obviously you would have to create an account first to your parent portal. Students don't have access to these forms, only the parents. You would scroll down and click on online registration. And then you would see, and you see an image here to the right where it says complete back to school forms. So then you would follow those on-screen prompts, and if you have multiple students, you're going to have to fill it out for each student. So although you may not be required to fill those out at this time, you all do have access, I think, to begin completing those. So you can look into your parent portal account and start that process today if you would like. So parent portal features, and this is just a screenshot of a generic parent portal account, but this is what it would look like, especially if you have multiple students in your household. So once you log in, your main menu is going to be to the left, and each of your students in your household are going to show up in the middle of the screen so that you can then scroll and select each student to look at their information. I do know that we switched to the 26-27 school year this weekend in Infinite Campus. So if you do have access to your account, you should be able to view their schedule for next year. Be aware that that may change. I know we're still making some hires, and students aren't, back in school for a few weeks. So just make sure that you can view that information, but it may change before the start of school. You'll notice also on the right-hand side, any announcements that are coming from the district as well as the school level will feed into the upper right-hand corner. And then you should have quick links over on the right-hand side to any helpful links within CMS. We're trying to add to that from year to year so that you can have all of those in one place to access. I'm just going to highlight a few key features here so that you can see those. Using the main menu, if you would click on attendance for your student, obviously right now you're not going to see anything for the 26-27 school year. But if you want to keep track of how many absences your students have and how many tardies they have, this is a great place to go to cross-reference your records to that, as well as to see, how your student is hopefully getting to class on time. I have a high schooler. I'm checking this all the time for tardies to have some conversations at home about making sure we get to class on time. So attendance would look like this, and it does look a little different based on level, elementary, middle, and high school. Grades is the next section. I'm just going to highlight here. Again, this will look different based on your level. I am excited to announce that K2 report cards and grades will also be in Infinite Campus this year. So parents of kindergartners, first graders, and second graders will be able to look at not only students' attendance, but at report card time, a standard-based grade in Infinite Campus. And so you can see across the top here, you can switch between the terms. And then you can also look specifically at the overall grade at the top and break down the assignments for each subject area if you were to scroll below that. Documents. When you go to access documents, we have made it viewable so that parents can see report cards from the previous year. And you should be able to see progress reports as well as any additional information provided through the district. So you can go in here and you can switch between years to see that information and documentation that you want to for each of your children. And then really my final resource is a very big one. And if you could click on that link for me to, this link is to our CMS website for Infinite Campus. And really any resource, any new resource for families, we put here just so that we have everything in one place for you all. We have a lot of resources on the left-hand side, help guides. All of these should be translated into our top 13 languages. So how to access report cards, how to look at your state test scores, how to look at unofficial transcripts, graduation progress, all kinds of information and documentation. There's also more information here about back to school forms if you have questions about that. And then I think at the very top, one big key item I do want to make sure that you guys are aware of. If you are having trouble setting up your account or accessing your parent portal accounts, the best way to get assistance is to go through your school. And so we are asking that you guys put in a on-flow ticket, and we have those directions right there underneath the Get Assistance header. And the reason we ask you to do that is to ensure that your information is set up correctly in the system. It's easier to direct that to the school level and ensure that all of your information is right. We want to make sure that you are the parents of those children, that you can see that information before we just give access to anyone to create their account. So please feel free to, put in any tickets that you need to, and we will direct those to your schools and help as much as we can. And we are just excited about continuing our second year in Infinite Campus and hopefully making things better as we go through that.
Thank you so much, Denise, for that wonderful information and all of the resources that are available to our parents, our CMS families. At this time, to discuss the CMS launchpad, we have Ashley Erb, Senior Manager for Educational and Technology Support.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. Today, I'll be guiding you through how to get connected with CMS Launchpad. CMS Launchpad is our district's single sign-on platform. It's also known as ClassLink. It allows students to access all their learning materials and apps using just one username or password, making it easy for your student to sign in at school and at home. This single sign-on system provides a seamless experience, removing the need for multiple logins. It features a personalized dashboard and a centralized resource library for educators to share content to your student. The personalized dashboard is fully customizable. Users can organize their favorite applications and resources, while educators can tailor the view to provide quick access to essential tools for their classes. For additional help, we recommend that you visit our Tech Support for CMS Families webpage. It's a great resource where you can find support for student devices, digital citizenship, and the Launchpad portal itself. We highly encourage you to visit the site and check out the resources available to you. On the site, you can find detailed login instructions for Chromebooks, iPads, and personal devices to help you assist with logging your student in at home. Lastly, to help support families, we have login instructions for Chromebooks available in 10 different languages on our support site. If you need any additional help, feel free to reach out to the educational technology team.
Okay, we got there quickly. Thank you so much, Ashley, for that information as well. At this time, please join us in welcoming Eddie Perez. He's Executive Director for Video and Content Production in our Communications Department, and he will be discussing ParentSquare.
Good afternoon, everybody. As Robin said, my name is Eddie Perez, Executive Director of Video and Content Production, and I just kind of want to give you a quick tutorial on ParentSquare, what it is and how to use it. First of all, getting started, you should receive an email from ParentSquare with login instructions. If you haven't, please go to parentsquare.com. And it's pretty simple. Once you're there, you just register your account and then you activate your account through verification. I'll keep these QR codes up for a little bit for the next few seconds. So if you need to download this on your phone, by all means, please go ahead and click on that and download it. Okay, Robin, next slide, please. Sorry. Basically, what ParentSquare is the district's two-way communication tool. So it's your one spot to access all information that's being sent to you from the school district or from your individual schools. A good feature about ParentSquare is you can set it up in your own language. ParentSquare translates in over 180 languages. Once you set up your account, if you go to your settings, you can set your account up so if you want to receive all messages in Spanish, you can receive them in Spanish. If you need to receive them all in Russian, you can receive them in Russian. In Farsi, Farsi. In French, French, and so on and so on. Our two-way communication is built so you can stay up to date and engage with any messaging that the district or your schools are putting out. The notifications you're receiving, you can receive them through text, email, your mobile app, or voicemail. You can choose however you want to receive your messages. Again, there are multiple ways to communicate. Like I said, you can receive text notifications, email and push notifications, or again, using the app on your phone. Some tips for you to know about some of the good things that ParentSquare offers. Number one, you get to choose how and when you want to receive your notifications. If you want to receive your notifications instantly the second they're sent out, you can choose that under your settings tab. If you want to receive your notifications once a week on a certain day of the week at a certain time, you can choose that as well. Also, if you want to receive your any text messages instantly, you can set that up. But you want to receive an email once a week, you can do that as well. We're trying to get away from the paper, make it paperless, and make it as simple as possible. Through ParentSquare, like I said, you'll be receiving messages from the district. You'll also be able to use it for two-way communication with your schools. You'll be able to message back and forth to teachers, school administrators, and so forth. Again, the direct messages are instant and real time. You can set up private or group conversations. I know a lot of teachers set up private groups with their students and their families. And again, all the messages are translated both ways. From the district level, we have several ways we send messaging out to our families. One are alerts. These are one-way messages that we send over email, text, the mobile app, and/or voice messages. These are usually visible in the alerts and notices section once you log in. We also send out smart alerts. These are important messaging, but not urgent, not critical. A lot of schools will send these smart alerts as school updates and/or announcements. And then the district also will send out urgent alerts. These are reserved obviously for dire and critical situations, school closures, lockdowns. We usually send those to you immediately. So if you have your system set up to ingest messages once a week, we can override that and send you urgent alerts immediately. And again, one of the nice features about ParentSquare is our language settings. Again, you go and select language settings, and we have a drop down of 180 languages that you can choose from. If you have any questions about ParentSquare or run into any issues, please feel free to reach me at the communications department. I'll give you my phone number. I'll be more than happy to share it with you. It's 980-219-9026.
Thank you, Denise. Thank you, Ashley. And thank you, Eddie, for sharing such valuable information with our families and our families that are logged on today. If you have any questions at this time, please add them to the Q&A section so that our presenters can answer those questions for you. So families, again, if you have any questions, please add them to the Q&A section at this time.
We do have a few questions for Denise. The first question is around the activation key. Several people said in the comment section that there's been an activation key required, and they want to know how to access that activation key.
Yes. So that activation key is, if you guys go to the CMS website that we had pulled up for Infinite Campus and follow the step-by-step guide, it will tell you how to get that activation key because it's specific to each user. So I can also, that was on, so again, the CMS website and Infinite Campus page, and it goes through those directions. If you have trouble following those directions, I would then reach out to your school because they also have the code inside of Infinite Campus that they can provide you with.
All right, Denise, we've got more questions coming your way. The first question comes from an anonymous user who would like to know if we need to fill out the back to school form at Infinite Campus.
That's a great question. So currently they are not being required. They will be required at some point in the next few weeks. So I don't know the exact date. If you would like to get ahead of that and go ahead and fill those out as you have time, I would say go ahead and do that. You can start them and then come back to finish them because there's quite a few forms. So I would say if you have time, go ahead and start that process so that you don't lose access, because at some point when we turn on the requirement piece, it will make you fill them out before you can then view your schedules, view the grades. So I would say go ahead and start that now.
All right, another question comes from Amanda, and she asks if pre-K will need to sign up for Infinite Campus.
Great question. No, we are currently not using Infinite Campus for pre-K. I don't know if that's something we'll move to in the future, but this year you do not need to sign up for Infinite Campus if you have a pre-K student.
All right, this next question is about ParentSquare, and Karen would like to know some of the alerts won't open in ParentSquare. How does she correct this?
That is a good question. If you're having issues with alerts, you should go to your settings and make sure that your alerts are open. If you toggle, there should be a button to toggle between green and no color. Just make sure those alerts are open.
All right, Casey wants to know, could a link be provided for Infinite Campus and CMS Launchpad?
Yes, I know that our link, are parents able to access this actual presentation with the link in the chat? If so, then my link is provided on one of the slides, and I will put that URL in there as well.
Thank
And
you.
for CMS Launchpad, you'll be able to access if you go through our tech support for CMS families page. We have login instructions for logging in from home.
Any questions that we've not covered, Christina?
I think that's it, Miss Hernandez. We will get back to you on your question.
And I do have a question for each of our presenters. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say my comfort level should be if I'm not very comfortable with technology? There are a lot of sign-ins, a lot of things, forms that I need to fill out. What would you say my comfort level should be?
If I may go first, for ParentSquare, the comfort level is pretty good. You don't have to be really technologically savvy to use it. It's pretty self-explanatory once you get into the system. And I will also drop in a link in the chat with a tutorial from ParentSquare that might help anybody who's having issues.
Thank you, Eddie.
For CMS Launchpad, similar to Eddie, the resources that we have on the tech support for CMS families page break it really down step by step so that you can feel confident supporting your student. So you don't have to be the expert on the Launchpad. You can use our instructions to help you support your student. And I'll put the link for the tech support for CMS families in the chat as well.
Thank you, Ashley.
And for Infinite Campus, I would say the most frustrating part is the initial setup. And we don't like that. We have tried to do everything we can to ensure that that is smooth. If you guys, because I've seen a few questions over here, have any issues with that, like I said, if your student ID number is not recognized, if you're not getting that activation code, please reach out to your school, one of your student schools. It doesn't have to be all of them, and they can assist with that. I know a lot of schools are also having tables designated like open house events, back to school events, where they're going to be on site assisting with that as well, so that we don't have that frustration. So please just be patient. We will get you in. And once you're in, it is very easy to use. I will also provide the link in the chat for directly the initial setup and then the documents for using Infinite Campus.
Thank you, Denise. There was a question that said, are schools open for us to reach out to today? I have a student starting in pre-K this year. Where do I turn in her immunization records? I know it's a little different, but are schools open for us to reach out to today?
I can speak to that. I do know there are some people in the building today. I know that usually administrators work all summer, and I know data managers are usually in the building. So I would say if you can't reach anyone at the school, student placement can also help with that information. So student placement can be, they can help in that situation.
Perfect. Thank you, Denise. Any other questions, Christina?
All right. What grades use a single sign-on feature? Does a kindergartner need to remember a login and password to use at school?
All right, thank you for that question. All students in CMS do use the CMS launchpad. However, our students in kindergarten through second grade have a resource available to them called a quick card, which is essentially a QR code that they'll use to scan to sign in, so that they do not have to remember a long password, for instance. They'll just have to select an image for their MFA portion. But students in grades 3 through 12 are guided on how to create a strong password and use that for signing in so that we can build those skills.
Did we get, Christine, you still searching?
I think that's everything that I see for now.
Wanted to make sure to ensure we have answered all of the questions that our families are asking. So if there aren't any more questions, we want to thank our families for attending today's Family Academy Lunch and Learn. And a special thank you to our presenters. Thank you guys for taking the time to be here for our parents and to really answer these questions and to make sure that their comfort level is on 10. All right. We are looking to go to 10 for our families. Thank you guys for the valuable information on getting connected with CMS. And families, if you have not already done so, please complete the attendance link and the feedback link that's pinned in the Q&A. Again, please complete the attendance and feedback link pinned in the Q&A. And we hope that you all have an amazing day, and we look forward to an amazing start of the school year.